It's horrible.
The program you are about to watch is rated TV MADLSV, where the V stands for violins.
Hello, everybody. It is we're awake and we're here, and it's time for Indie Vote Live.
Yes,
That's right.
we're officially up. I got a notification.
Yeah, I turn my YouTube notifications. I built a new computer, and I turn my notifications off on a lot of stuff. So, because I was getting ridiculous amounts of YouTube notifications.
At least that's
Hey,
not another goddamn Amber Alert that we have to shelter in place for another 3 weeks.
yeah, well, not yet. Hello, everybody out there. Hello, hello. If you're hanging out in the chat, make yourself known. Speak.
Come on in,
Um,
have a seat. We don't bite. Well, except Lola. But then you like it.
Only a little.
yeah, you freaks. Um, uh, we got a good show planned for you guys. We're going to talk some comics. We're going to talk some online comics. We're going to talk some do's and don'ts. We're going to talk about a lot of good stuff, a lot of interesting stuff tonight.
We got a couple people
And
already sitting in the green room. Don't eat too many of them Cheetos back there.
yeah, don't fall for the sexy decoys.
Yeah, don't fall for the sexy decoys.
Hmm.
One of them blows up, we'll know.
Yeah.
Damn it. Fell for the sexy decoy.
Sorry. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, and then I think we're also gonna talk about a new show we're gonna be premiering here very soon, and it's gonna be another opportunity for people to creators to fund themselves. So exclusively the Indie Vote.
To
Get some
fund
funding.
themselves? Get some funding?
Get some funding for their dreams and aspirations.
Do some honking?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Are we running the opening?
Yeah, I'm gonna run the opening. I can do it now because my computer's all fancy.
I got it right here. Oh, well, you can do it if you want, but I can do it here.
I got it. So everybody, you guys hang tight. Here we go.
Hang on. Good Lord.
All right. We are back. We are live, and hello. I am Varian Grant. I am a comic publisher, co-owner of Last Call Comics. Been so for the last 8 years. Founder of Indie Volt Media. I am a father, a husband, a geek, an occasional actor, reluctant taxpayer, sensitivity reader. I say comic book artist, right? Yeah, that's the rumor. I even write comics from time to time.
Child star.
Child star, former child model, all around good egg. I'm even egg shaped now, which is awesome.
Good egg.
And this is Indie Vote Live. I'm joined by always with Lola, the Indie Princess. The Indie Princess. And Mr. Randy Zimmerman.
Hey,
Who are you, Randy?
Good evening. How are you? Good evening. I'm Randy Zimmerman. I'm an alternative and independent comics creator. I've been doing it for many, many, many years. I'm an award-winning graphic and commercial artist. His main gig is doing sequential art that I love to do. I'm here just a couple miles south of the Safe Water line out of Flint, Michigan. And I also have the Zim Geek channel on YouTube that I contribute to infrequently, but hopefully more frequently very soon. Ralph's in the house. Ralph Griffith says, hi there. Hoping I do not have the virus. Runny nose, dry cough, and a headache from coughing. Buddy, I hope you don't either. Could be allergies, though. Fingers crossed, definitely. It's that time of year. Any little sneeze, oh no, I got the COVID.
Just kicking back with some Indie Vote could be the cure. I've had it on good authority that
that's what I heard.
Indie Vote, beautiful program, very smart people over there at Indie Vote. They may actually have the cure, so that's that. And they're gonna handle the cure with great compassion, great toughness. Randy's local to me. I have a few signed. Hello, Randy. Says Matthew.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Matthew.
Happy to have those signed.
Matthew's also an admin of my group, just so y'all know that. He's
okay.
one of my people. Yep.
And we got we're joined tonight by the underground comic creating, advocating badass, Mr. Rob Andersin and Pops Van Zant. We'll start with Rob. Rob, introduce yourself, sir.
Well, how can I do any better than that, Varian? That was such an awesome welcome. I create comics. I love comics, and I try to advocate for comics. And I don't let silly politics get in the way of any of that, and I don't let anyone own comic books. Comic books are something that is for everyone. It's been for us since we were kids, and those of us who are still carrying the banner will make sure that a future generation, speaking of future generations, he's will be actually comic book fans as well, because we'll continue to create. Because unlike Marvel, we didn't put our pencils down here in indie and independent comics and underground comics. Instead, we kept creating, and we're still creating.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Pops Van Zant. How are you, sir?
Hey, you know we're good. Getting ready for this online con, comic-related madness. The group of no hate. You bring all your love to the group, everything you love, just leave all the hate on your own pages. Everybody's happy that way, right? That's what I try to do. I mean, we have fun, man. We have a good group, and I'm just like, I'm the guy who was a collector, and suddenly Corona gave me a purpose to try and help people out. Try to help out my friends in my group who weren't setting up their tables. I wasn't going to be able to go see them at the cons. So this is how I'm doing it. I set up my online con. We did the first one. You guys were great. Had me out. We got some good exposure. Had a great time. Most of those people are coming back for the second one. So I'm figuring we did okay. Let's do it again. I got a new co-host. Not a new co-host because Phil isn't going to be part of what we got going on, but he had obligations this weekend, so I got Amanda Zimmerman to come in. She's going to help me out, make sure that I got a backup on the tech end, because I'm one of them people, man, if something's going to go wrong, it's going to happen to me. The power's going to go out, the cable's going to go out, and my guest is going to be left hanging. And that was the biggest worry I had going in this weekend. Now I don't have that worry anymore. I'm really jacked. We got a full slate. Great people. I don't know. Who's next? Give somebody else a minute.
We'll talk about the online con. We got lots to talk about. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about Ridho Dajani. I can't pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. But
Ridho Dajani.
Is that Gianni? Buso?
Did we get close?
Yeah, I believe so.
He says Bazoo.
Yeah. Speaking of close, IndieVolt Radio right now starting up pretty damn high. Speaking of radio, starting up pretty damn high at 9,462 people listening. Thank you very much to our friends in France, Germany, Australia, Mexico. Thank you guys.
We appreciate all of you. Thanks for listening.
That's more than we had last time at the end of the show. So I'm more jacked now. That's great, man.
Yeah, we definitely love seeing those numbers jump up.
IndieVolt has a reach. So everybody out there in IndieVolt Radio Land, make sure you tell your friends about us too.
We got some questions, Randy.
Cool.
I'm gonna put them up on screen.
And we should remind people that Krista's Tip Jar is open.
Oh, it is. Yes. Lola's Tip Jar is open. Every $5 tips, she takes a shot of an assorted amount of alcohol she has just off to the left of her camera there. All tips go to help fund her upcoming comic book. You can go to the link. It's streamlabs.com/IndieVolt. Again, streamlabs.com/IndieVolt. You'll actually see your name go across the top there. Once you donate, you'll see the money drop into Lola's Tip Jar, and from there she'll be able to she'll see it. We'll see it. We'll demand she takes a drink, and Pops and Rob will be able to pick the flavors tonight, I believe.
I take it we're also running on Twitch.
We are running on Twitch,
considering the comment we just
got. That's what I was laughing about.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Somebody named Head. or head. It's a little too long, Mister Head.
It's a
Or
Shrek. It's
or
about
head
Shrek,
head
man.
person. Cut that down.
So let's run a
Keep your
question.
deep dark secrets. Okay.
We will start with one from our good buddy who writes in quite frequently, Mr. L. Nolan.
L, how you doing? Give us some L. Varian and Randy with running Indie Volt, publishing companies, and other projects. How in the hell do you guys find the time to do it all? Flattery will get you everywhere, L. That's all we want to tell you. We make time, my friend. We have to. This is something that we always wanted to do. You know, I'm sure Varian will tell you he's always wanted to run a publishing company. I don't run a publishing company anymore. I used to publish a newspaper for about 10 years that got circulated in my local area, but I stopped it due to lack of advertising support. I just wasn't making enough money on it, and I hated to stop it, but I stopped it at 100 after we had printed a million issues, literally a million issues of it. So I'm pretty proud of that. And I'm still working on independent projects when I'm not doing commercial work. Right now, I'm working on some independent stuff because there is no commercial work, thanks to the wonderful virus.
Ooh, for me, it's you like Randy said, you got to make that time.
Or send everything to me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, wise man once told me, you do two things, they'll both suffer. But I wanted it both. I wanted to do. I wanted my publishing company. I wanted to be able to draw comics. And believe it or not, like Randy said, I didn't set out to be a publisher. I wanted to make my own books, and I knew I had to self-publish them. And we ended up, because other people were like-minded and wanted to put their books out. They've come to me. Some are moved on. Some are still around. Denny says, is this on YouTube or Facebook? It's on both, sir.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's on both. We are currently live right now on YouTube as well. If you go over to YouTube, please like and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. I'll put the YouTube video link in the chat, though.
Indie Volt. Just look for Indie Volt on your favorite social media platform, and if it's not there, it shouldn't be your favorite social media platform.
Yeah,
There you go.
I put it in I put it in the chat too, the YouTube link. So if anyone wants to go over to YouTube and check it out, they definitely can.
And if you are watching us on YouTube right now, hit that like button, subscribe, make sure you hit the bell for notifications because we don't have enough subscribers on the YouTube page yet.
Yeah. A lot of people listening on IndieVille Radio right now when that actually is up to 10,641.
That's because they know Pops is on.
But in regards to being a publisher, I didn't set up to be a publisher, and some days I wonder why I'm doing that. But I want to make my own books, and you just find the time. I will tell you this: I'm up early, and I go to sleep very late. Sometimes I don't get to bed till 8 4 or 5, and then I'm back up at 9, maybe as late as 10 o'clock, and I consider 10 to be extremely late for me to get up.
I've seen up at 7.
Yeah, I've gotten up at 7. Sometimes I get 3 hours of sleep, so I'm in the middle of projects. Some time to draw, some time to do Indie Volt stuff, some time to work on other projects, and to still, be that husband and father and all that good stuff. You lose some time.
You do what you need to do, and believe it or not, we're not even as busy as Peter Cimenti.
Yeah. Dennis says, Dennis says, love your show. Workhorse. Thank you, sir. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Hopefully we are a beneficial show to you, and that you get the chance to hear us talk and be loquacious about this industry.
The fact that people put up with us sometimes amazes the hell out of me.
Rob, you've been doing Indie Advocates. I started off as Written Sins long before I have, and I think I mentioned to you before that had I known that you were doing Indie Advocates, had I knew about it, there's a good chance Indie Volt would not exist, especially in the form that it does, because I had no idea that you were doing it. I did not know about it. How do you find time? Because I mean, you've got, you got your son, you've got your publishing company, you've got comics you got to curate, and then you have the Indie Advocates Facebook and website. How do you do it all?
Indie Advocates? What's that? You mean comic book advocates?
Well, yes, that's right.
That's right. We are switching names into 2021. Starting today, we're no longer going to be Indie Advocates. I'm tired of drawing lines. I love comic books. That's how I find time to do it all. Because when you love something, you make time for it. It's just that simple.
Love that.
And I love comic books. I owe them my ability to read. I owe them the ability that I got to reach into my son's mind and show him I was creating something for him. And he now respects books because of it. So I don't care if you're comics gay. I don't care if you're a social justice warrior. I don't care if you wear a tinfoil cap and believe in every flat earth theory there is. As long as you love comics, we'll support you and you'll support us. And it's just that simple. Let our politics be written in our pages and let the people vote with their dollars.
Yep. Amen. Comics kept me sane.
Tough Nerd Toy says best quote ever.
That's cool.
Thank you, Tough Nerd. Thank you. I agree with that, Rob. I mean, I think that what you're doing is, I mean, I don't know if I like the rebranding. I'm just kidding. No, no, I do. I appreciate what you're doing. I think that those lines. And now you need. I guess now you're not turning away from indie comics. You are still focusing on indie.
Indie and underground are going to be our primary focus because they're the ones who need it the most, and they're the ones working the hardest. They're the ones whose pens and pencils aren't down right now. They're going ahead, churning ahead, kickstarting, getting things done, kicking ass, taking names, while Marvel's trying to figure out where they're going to get their next movie released, and DC's working their ass off to get you guys books, putting in bubble wrap now, actually respecting the product. So comics are changing, and we're going to change with them and show the fact that this industry needs us all to support each other. And of course, that it would be nice for the big guys to look down on us, but we got to stop pointing fingers and saying one is better than the other, because it's not true. We're all in the same industry. The fans decide what's better.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, again, that's how you find the time to do it. You find the time to make sure that you can do it in a way that's professional, and it shows that you actually do care about this industry. Pops, did you want to weigh in on that at all? How do you find time to do what you do?
Well, I got it pretty easy. Okay, I mean, I'm grandpa daycare. I got 4 grandkids, 3 big dogs chasing me around the house, but I got it pretty easy. My son, he does okay, even now when things are messed up. We're not hurting as bad as a lot of people, and appreciate what people are going through, which is how I ended up getting involved in all this in the first place. It was just to help the people that weren't setting up tables, and to help out my friends. I mean, I'm not an industry guy. You guys know that. You never heard of me. Okay, I'm not an industry guy. I'm a fan. All my people are coming to me for advice about the industry, and I don't have industry experience. I have a life experience as a fan and a collector, and some common sense, and I could throw that at people, but they have to understand that you guys know I am totally new to what's going on here. I got turned into a comic book character, became part of the industry through that. Corona turned me into a Comic-Con organizer. This is not something I planned on. Nothing. It's all something I jumped in with both feet. My group, it's pretty much what Rob just said. Bring everything you love to the group, but don't hate what somebody else brought. I don't want to hear it. I won't accept it. My group is for people who love comics, love art, love writers, love the industry like I do. And I love it. I love everything that has happened since I started the group, except the virus. Okay. But I love everything that's happened to the people that have joined my group. I hear about the networking they do all the time. People are hitting me up, dude, I got a job because of what you posted or because you let me post it in your group. And it's like, that's what I want. I post that Ultron GIF. This is exactly what I wanted in my group all the time, because that's what I'm getting is everybody networking, everybody helping each other out. That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
It ain't about my personal, political, or sexual preferences or any of that. That might be over on my page, and yeah, I might be guilty of jumping on a baited hook every now and then, but it doesn't enter my group.
Right.
Never,
And then that's really important because that separation. People have tried it before. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Tough Nerd Toy. That's what is the link to purchase your indie comics. I guess everybody can get their links. For us, it's lastcallcomics.com. There's a link up there that says store. It leads you to a place called the Brewery. You can purchase any book up there, any Last Call material. We'll ship it out to you. Lola posted in the chat if you want to check that out. And then Mr. Rob Andersin has a couple books. His are on, and he's got one on Indiegogo, sorry, Kickstarter right now called Cat, Dad, and Supermom. And he is actually going to be having, we're going to talk about that today too. Randy, they can just contact you for books, correct?
Oh yeah, send me $20. I'll send you some books.
No,
But other than that, you can jump in on Amazon and look under War of the Worlds. I wrote a War of the Worlds series with Caliber Press some time ago that's still selling really well. In fact, they just put the artwork for the first issue of that together as a credit card, which is pretty cool. Other than that, you snoop around Comixology and Caliber, you'll find some stuff I've done, or you look on at eBay or Amazon under my name. There's bound to be something pop up. Tales from the Anniverse, Frank the Monkey. There's all sorts of stuff. So it's all out there. But if you need it right from the source, and if you want me to sign it, I'll send everything to you signed. I'll send you a box full of comics. You send me $20. So I got plenty back here that I can spare. So
I was looking for it to see if I had it up here. Rob had a show the other day where the people were talking about indie comics, and I was able to show off your War of the Worlds.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. I was able to show that off.
That's the Memphis front. We printed 2 episodes of that with Arrow. I still have the rest of it that I need to finish off. That's on my bucket list. One of the things that I need to get done is finish the Memphis front storyline and get that out, because it's a good story.
And
held up pretty well. Everybody's holding up their books. I guess I can hold up my books too.
Pops is Mojo Rising, yeah.
Yep. Mojo Rising, Third Empire, Outlaw Studios, Great Arms, Raj Mahan. That's
Also Taco House.
launching on June 2nd. We have a launch date. And I'm excited about that, because that's where Pops Van Zant makes his.
You guys all.
You're debuting?
You guys all look like Larry Higgins.
Yeah, we're all doing the Larry Higgins thing. Tales from the Anniversary.
The Greg Harms cover.
Scenes from the club.
So I got another question. And I'd like to see if you guys can weigh in on it. All right, here we go. Here we go. This one is from a new writer. I don't think I've wrote in before. Stephen. I think it's Steve. Maybe Stephen. Stephen Williams. Here we go.
Stephen Williams. With this pandemic raging on, what happens to those actual introverted creators who don't know how to engage with their audience outside of a Comic-Con? Stephen Williams. Well,
can I throw that one for a second?
You can't be too introverted if you're going to the Comic-Cons.
Well, I just wanted to say is like a lot of people that did my con the first time, they didn't really have any idea what it was going to be like going out online. It was a new experience for them. But man, they all handled it like champs once they settled in. A few of them even overlapped on each other's time because they sit next to each other at cons and they hadn't seen each other, and they started talking to each other. Hi, how you doing? Ain't seen you in a while, talking like telling stories like they would at the con. It was, I thought it was amazing that, some people just jumped right out. I had one poor guy that our tech went out. We could not hear him. So we couldn't do a Q&A with him, and he had to go out there by himself. Michael Jason Stokes had to go out there by himself with no co-host, no nothing, and just do his 25 minutes, which is absolutely the opposite of what he planned on. And he handled it like a champ. So, I mean, they're creators. They want to get it out there. They'll do it.
Well, there are a few introverted ones who cannot. There are a few guys I've talked to, a few people that I know personally, and I'm like, hey, why don't you come on my show? Oh, I don't do live streams. And to those people, I would say, time's up. You've had many years to learn. You've had many years to try. If you FaceTime with mommy and daddy, you FaceTime with sister and brother, you FaceTime with anybody, that was training for this. You're going to talk to a camera. You're going to talk to a mic. There are not going to be Comic-Cons as we've known it for a while. That we've already missed, what now, February, March, April?
Could be
3
quite
months
a
or
while
so?
before it restarts in some areas. Yeah.
Right. You guys are going to have to learn how to do that. You guys are going to have to learn how to go out there and engage an audience that you can't, stick a book in their hand. And
I tell every one of my guests, self-promotion is key. I can be as excited as all get out about whatever you're doing, but if you're not, it's a hard sell for me. If you're excited about what you're doing, even if you're not, act like it. If you're acting like you're excited and it rubs off that way on me and then in return onto the fans, that's what you're trying to do. Self-promotion is king.
Randy, what were you about to say? I cut you off. I'm sorry.
It's just like talking to friends. The big thing, Stephen, is when you get your setup, just a microphone and a camera is all you need. You just ignore that anybody else is listening and you talk to your friends. That's all you have to do.
Randy, did you make your video public?
Yes, I did.
Okay, let's making sure.
Why is there people calling in?
No, I was looking at old messages and I wanted to make sure.
Over there. I had a couple of likes at that. No, I don't have any messages over there now. So
okay,
we're all good. Yeah, I did that first thing.
Rob, what's your feeling on this? How do those introverted creators, are they gonna be okay during this?
Evolve or die, man. I'm sorry, this is humanity. If you can't figure it out, you don't belong. I get that you can't do it yourself. That's why you better be real sweet to someone who can be your talker. That's why Penn and Teller worked. Penn couldn't tell, so Teller couldn't tell, so he got Penn to pen all the work. Get it done. Get someone there with you. I mean, that's hustle. That's love. That's personal responsibility. Stop blaming everything for getting in your way and why you're a victim. Victims die of hunger. Don't be a victim. Stop trying to wait for the world to save you and save your goddamn self.
Adapt and overcome.
I've met so many people, so many artists that I've said, hey, artists and just creators, period, who have said, hey, come on the show. And I'm surprised when they say, man, I can't, I don't do live streams, or I don't do, I don't do press. What? How do you intend to put out a comic?
Can I throw something else out there? That's what I do. If you got something you want people to see, PM me, show it to me. I'll show it to everybody. It won't cost you a dime. That's what I do in my group.
Now, Rob also does panels.
Yeah. Well, Rob does the panels, and I think that Rob's probably broken a few people out of that. I'm afraid, I don't want to come on the air and talk. A mindset they had.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna post everyone's links to their stores in there too, so Tough Nerd can go take a look at those too. I put Last Call Comics.
Probably run it as a banner along the bottom.
Well, the reason with the banner is okay, but you can't click the banner. At least with the comments, you can go in there and click it. Yeah, but I'll post everyone's links in there too. But yeah, the Last Call Comics.storeenvy.com is there, and then we're gonna talk about Rob's newest creation. I'm gonna bring that up, but I want to get the rest of these questions first. But yeah, just again, get people You got to get out of that. You got to come out. Randy's willing to have you on the show.
I'm willing to go on the show for you. Send me your material, what you want me to talk about. I'll tell people about your book. You can't do it.
Yeah, so you can use Pops as a surrogate. There you go.
I'll do it for you. You know, don't sit there stagnant, man. If you got something we want to see, come on.
But there's also the fear that people, you know, you send somebody else for you. You know, people want to get to know that creator. They want to get to know if you're funny, if you talk to them, if you'll talk to them, if you guys have anything in common.
Passionate about your project.
Right, passionate. And Lola would never get on stream a long time ago. She refused to get on stream, and she finally decided to. Tough Nerd says, list all links. I will support indie comics are the last vestige of great comics and escapism. They are, Tough Nerd. They are.
Yeah, they are.
Let me get to this next question so we can burn through these pretty quick. And here's a pretty funny one. I think you kind of actually touched on this one earlier. Randy, go ahead and read it.
Comics Gate Plus, AntiComics Gate, Comics Gate adjacent. I can't keep this shit straight. I just want some good fucking entertaining comics to read without being fucking judged for it. My local comic shop dropped my pull list because I told him I ordered Jawbreakers. You'd think it was Mein Kampf. Well, whoever dropped your pull list just because you ordered Jawbreakers doesn't want your money, and that's stupid. So there's got to be another shop in your area, hopefully, that will be more than happy to take your money for you.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah,
Sure.
I see this a lot about all these people saying, "Oh, I'm getting bullied because I ordered this book or that book." Do you guys really think there are comic book stores out there that are actually stopping people's pull sheets?
Yes.
This like
Yes.
a
Yes.
thing?
yes,
Like, it's something that's like all over?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Do I
it's
want
happened
to
both
do it?
ways though.
Sadly, yes, because there's some retailers out there who don't understand what it takes to make some money.
Damn shame.
Yes,
Well, I mean,
it
when-
is. It's
when
not
they're
the
all-
way proper business should be done.
When they're all going out of business and they're all crying right now, it's like, well, remember all those times you invited all those independent creators? Oh, wait, you didn't invite any independent creators. So that's why no one gives a shit that you're going down.
We had people going around, I think it was this area or down in the Detroit area, that made retailers put a sign in their window that said Comics Gate is a hate group.
I
And
remember that.
turn away Comics Gate, just to turn off Comics Gate people. Can
I
you
remember-
believe that crap?
I
Some retailer
remember-
going to do that.
I remember it being so bad a while ago that not only that, but people were getting kicked out of cons. But on both sides, like, but for a store to cancel your pulls and say we no longer want you as a customer. I mean, but unfortunately, I wish I could say that's the first time I heard of it. It's not.
No,
But now we know what's happening with all these. Let me tell you, Target will sell to a Nazi.
I've heard it. I've heard it multiple times. Yeah.
A Target will
It's-
sell
it's
you
repulsive.
a Nazi. You
Yeah.
could be ripping a Mickey Mouse head off. They'll be like, "Would you like that in paper and plastic, sir?"
Yep.
They are raised to get your money, and
Yep.
it's just stupidity. And I can't even, for the life of me, think of like where you could come up with an idea that I get to choose my customer. That is just.
Oh no, a retailer does get to choose their customer.
No, they don't. Not if they want to still be in business.
Well,
You
that's
open
the
your
idea.
door.
Yes, absolutely.
They do that
Your door
too.
is big.
If they want to cut their
They-
profits down,
Yeah.
if they're smart, they keep their mouth shut. They sell to whatever they're selling to both sides. Now it ain't even both sides. I'm sorry.
but
We're
it's a-
divided in so many different ways that there's like 80 different damn.
It's the retailer's right if they want to be stupid to cut their own throat and
Yeah.
refuse money.
That's what it
Then
is.
they go
But
to
now
go
it's not
permit.
just
But
half
they don't
the
stay in business for very long. You're seeing retailers
Sure.
dropping like flies right now.
but they're all on GoFundMe asking for help. But that same thing.
Oh yeah,
goes
they
back
are.
to Where your independent creator section? Where have you been inviting people?
I can't survive. Boo, boo.
Yeah,
I
stop-
chased all the Comics Gate people away. Boo, boo. The
No.
damn Comics Gators are taking all our money.
Funko,
that-
stop
it's-
selling fucking
it's that
Funko
kind of
Pops.
mind
Sell
thing.
comics.
Funko Pops.
Sorry,
Hey, wait.
Funko Pops alone.
Yeah, Lola says leave Funko Pops.
Lola
alone.
loves her Funko Pops.
My store does sell pops. Okay, I don't care. My store takes good care of their people. They do.
I
They're
hope they sell you pops.
adapting the best they can. You know. Yeah, they don't sell me. They sell pops.
I do think that's I'm sorry. Then the gentleman did ask me to retract his name because he doesn't want to get his store claimed.
That's your new name now, Funko Van Zant.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people have drawn me in different things. I've been drawn as a Jedi, as Superman, all kinds of stuff. I'm waiting for the Funko Pop.
Oh, it's got to be done.
I've been
gotta be
waiting
done.
for it for a long time. Nobody's done it yet.
It's got to be done.
What is that,
That
Lo?
was a job for you.
Yeah, the giant. Now here we go. Here's a question that we knew we were gonna have.
From Anonymous,
No, well, actually, it's from DK.
Anonymous,
Uh-huh.
DK.
What was this last one? Radim Han put in his comic. We'll check that out in a second.
Dem Kampf.
No, here we go.
Mark's in the house.
DK the DK.
Mark. Hey, Mark. Okay, here we go, Randy. Go ahead and
Mark
read it.
Hodges. Hi, kids. DK writes, why in the hell did you guys have King Daniel on your show referring to guys taking dick in the ass in a negative tone? Oh, I'm sorry. We should have stopped King Daniel and told him next time he refers to dick in the ass, it needs to be in a positive tone. Better yet, how come neither of you guys corrected him? Well, we're sorry. We were just a little stunned when King Daniel kind of veered the conversation out into a mature direction, DK, and we apologize for that. But we do warn everybody, if you look up in the upper right-hand corner, we are TVMA DLSV for a reason.
Yeah, we didn't know he was gonna say. We don't rehearse this.
We had no idea somebody was going to take that conversation and start talking in that much of an adult direction.
Normally, that's for Geekgasm. We had no idea.
Is it normally on Geekgasm?
Yeah, it's usually what all the dick and ass jokes start. No,
Is that right, Indie Princess?
And well, I mean, I kind of think it was more that he was talking about Wolverine.
yeah.
Yeah.
He
well,
was.
In
that
a
Marvel
negative-
started that conversation. Thank you very much.
Every person who likes that being in a negative tone, but he was pointing out that just was not the Wolverine persona that we all know forever and ever and ever. And I think I just want to clarify that he was not talking about everybody.
Yeah.
He was talking about Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we, but if it offended anybody, obviously we're sorry. But we were sorry. We should, but we don't rehearse this. This is live.
We are adults, and we are going to be offending people from time to time.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
I mean,
we're all
And
adults,
I
and
have a
some
hard
people don't
time
have
being
filters.
offended for a comic book character.
Yeah.
Okay, or lending credibility to somebody who is offended for a comic book character.
I mean, but you can always send all that hate mail to Rob, all of it. Rob owns the internet. Everyone knows this, and if you don't, then man. Emily Zelasco says hello, Emily.
Hey, Emily.
Oops. So yeah, and guys, that is all of the questions we have tonight. So let me go over to. We're gonna switch gears here. We're gonna switch to something totally.
While we've got Mark Hodges listening in the chat here. Mark, is everything still full speed ahead with your convention? Because I know my Saginaw show is on shaky ground right now. It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah. If anyone doesn't know, and it's been on Indie Vote, the website, obviously the website. We covered it. We had one of my favorite shows, and I got a lot of favorite shows, but one of the shows that everyone knows that I love going to, Space.
Yeah, Bob
Which
Corby
is-
show.
Yeah, 20th year, I believe it would have been this year.
Oh yeah, he's been running it for quite a long time.
He decided to
Cancel
for
for the
this
year.
year's
Yep.
show. And look forward to April 2021. We covered on indievolt.com. Very quick article. Space is the latest and not the last comics-oriented show to cancel its 2020 dates due to current viral pandemic.
Yeah.
Rob Corby announced via Facebook on April 26, 2020 that he decided to cancel the long-running event, 2020 installment. And it was gonna take place on July 11th to the 12th at the Northland Performing Arts Center in Columbus, Ohio. And it's one of the shows that I really enjoy going to. But he is looking to do some type of online show that's gonna have live panels, workshops, comic book readings, and a comics market on those dates on July 11th and 12th. So you guys can stay tuned to indievolt.com, and we'll make sure that we keep you guys up to date about how you can get on that. It's probably very close to one of the online cons that people have done.
Yep.
People doing much like Pops.
Mark Hodges chimes in that Grand Rapids is a go right now, but we are in November, so we have a lot of time to make a decision. Right now, we are business as usual as I can be. Thanks, Mark.
That's awesome. Mark. We hope you can. Again, another show that I like going, that Grand Rapids show. Love going to that one. Let's switch gears here a little bit about a project though that is very near and dear to my heart, even though the creator doesn't believe so. And it is Rob Anderson's Cat Dad and Supermom. And Rob, is that the screen you're sharing, or should I go get it from Kickstarter? You're muted.
I said, yeah, that's a good one. That's actually the beginning of the stretch cover right there. Okay. So get this there. That's why I brought that up. That's Mike Seeley, good local artist. He's got that going on. He's given me some new looks to the Kickstarter itself. But the Kickstarter is here. We've even got a video where I put it all on the line and I tell everyone why this is so important to me. And that loudmouth kid behind me right now is the reason. I wanted to create something that was for all ages. And so I created something I think is beautiful because it's something that you can enjoy with your whole family. We don't have that anymore. We don't have something where the whole family can sit down like they used to. I grew up with my family reading books together, not just watching TV. And I wanted to give that to the new generation with a more contemporary feeling to it. And this tackles bullying. I mean, bullying has affected us all one way or the other. We all known someone or been bullied. I got bullied coming up. And I'll never forget that. And this is not just about bullying, but it's more importantly a new take on it. It's what happens when you see someone get bullied and not just be the bully or get bullied. Because I think that's also a huge, important part of the story that we don't talk about because so many people just witness bullying and don't do anything about it because they don't think they have to. Mm-hmm. So, there's a lot of reasons. And, of course, anything with my son's name on it has to be of the utmost top quality stuff or I'm not going to put it out. So this was definitely one of those stories that I sat on for 6 months until I got it where I exactly thought it was ready. And I don't want to use the word perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. But it was certainly some of the best things that I've ever been able to write in my entire life.
And let's take a look at it. I know you got the video. Did you share your audio?
We'll find out in a second. It should be. You should be able to hear it. Let's see.
An all-ages tale that teaches morals with farts and shows the power of
I'll make it full screen.
It will entertain everyone in your family, including the parents reading the book. Thank you for hitting play and allowing us to introduce you to Cat Dad and Supermom, the award-winning Farts with Morals storytelling awesome adventure that people seem to love. And we could keep going that way. We could use words that could try to get you to be excited and convinced to buy it, but I'd rather just be honest with you. I'd rather be humble with you and tell you why I created the story. You see that little boy over my shoulder, right over there, and the other side, Supermom, and the big elephant that farts. All of that is based on my boy, who's a special needs 5-year-old, who I love with all my heart. And he has made me a better man and has taught me what unconditional love is. So if this story is about him, the standard had to be higher. That's why I got one of the best artists in the world, and Raheel Mohsin. I got Chuck Pino, who's done such great work as an editor and as a writer himself, to be part of this. Both of them became co-creators. because of how much passion went into this. It was about passion for creating a top-notch story that was meant to entertain your entire family. And I think we did that. The rest, they're all keywords. They're all ways to convince you to do it. Truthfully, this is a story that matters to me. And it had to be one of the best stories that I wanted to share with you. It advocates for people who get bullied, and it advocates for the right things to do when you see someone get bullied. It advocates for being a better human being, but it also represents my son. And because of that standard, because of the fact that my son is in this book, it had to be one of the best things I could create probably in my entire career. Anytime my son is attached to something, it is that high of a standard for me. So if you're looking for a reason to back this Kickstarter, it's because, well, because I love my son. I wouldn't put anything out with his name on it that wasn't amazing. Thank you for watching, sharing, and backing Cat Dad and Supermom, and Ella Fart never forgets.
I always find it funny that he wound up getting on the actual end of the recording by accident by screaming out. Like he knew it was about him.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Always a ham. When I take him to panels with me, he runs up to the mic and he goes, "Hello!"
Yeah, I've seen Jax in action at a Comic-Con and MegaCon.
Oh, that's right. I was chasing him around the room.
Yeah. He was a nice dinner buddy too. He sat right next to me. To my left, he was with you at Disney Springs, and
very expensive meal.
Yeah, it was. Some moron wanted to go to Disney Springs to eat lunch, dinner.
Wasn't me.
Nah.
Never go there. I know your tourist traps. I grew up in New York. We didn't eat in Manhattan ever. We always waited to get to Queens. You ate in the borough. You didn't eat in Manhattan. I ain't paying $5 extra for a hot dog.
And I think that your book is all ages.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see many of those. And right now, you are at $584 of a $333 goal. Now, Rob's books are a little different in that, Rob, you use Kickstarter and crowdfunding almost as a pre-order system, where the books you're going to print them anyway.
Yeah, I don't care. This book itself wound up getting printed, and the whole reason we came back to Kickstarter, we tried twice before and failed 2 times to get this funded. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that I created a fetish book. And look, I took some advice from some friends. They meant well, but they were like, you have to hide the fact that you're behind the book. I'm like, I'll just put it under a different name as a writer, and I'll tell everyone it's mine. No, do it this way. So I did one Kickstarter that way, and then that didn't go well, and there was problems with that one. And then I did a second Kickstarter, and you remember this, and I hurt my throat at the end of last year very badly. Mm-hmm. So that happens right during that one. Same thing, trying to hide who I am. So all this goes down, and I'm like, I really want to get this book under, a Kickstarter, get it done, and I want to get some money to get to my printer, because I found out my printer has lost 75% of their business. Now, I haven't even got my damn stimulus check yet, so I need some money myself to keep things getting printed. So I was like, let me go to Kickstarter, and you know what? This time I'm going to get it. I'm going to just attack it. I'm going to get it successfully funded, because I need to help out that printer, and I need to get this book into people's hands. I want to get this into some schools and into some hospitals for kids who are sick, so I can give away some copies, because when I'm getting people to help me with this, I can do that. It empowers me to be able to give away free copies. So I came into this, and I had friends who were like, you can't go back 3 times. I'm like, why? Oh, the market won't approve of it. And I said very nicely to my friend, I'm like, fuck your market. No offense. I don't care about your market. I only care about the fans. I care about that little girl who is crying in front of my table because someone wrote a book about being bullied. And it moved her that much because she knew how it felt. And I mean, just imagine I'm talking like a 10-year-old wanting to give you a hug, and how powerful of a moment that is, And of course, I looked at the parent like, is this something that's okay? And the parent was like, of course, yeah, go ahead. And, little kid thanking you for writing something that matters to her. And that's why when I came back this 3rd time to Kickstarter, I was like, fuck it, we're doing this. We're going to make this happen, and we're going to keep pushing. And I didn't come on for a long time. I think we picked 19 days because we're actually ending on Mother's Day. I thought that'd be a really cool little thing to actually end Cat Dad and Supermom on Mother's Day, and at 9 o'clock when you put your kids to bed. So I kind of thought this out. I wanted to have fun with it, but I also want to, like you said, how many books are made for the whole family right now? How many books can you sit down and read with your kid? You know, we need these kids to be into comics so they grow up as comic book fans, so we can still write to someone in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So I'm inviting people to become fans of me today, and who knows what I'll be creating in 10 years, but they'll be able to show up and find out what I'm creating, and I'll be happy to sign whatever they want to buy from me now.
That's cool. That's cool. And this campaign is going for another 11 days. People still have an opportunity to get in there and get it. I'm going to link it. I usually I say that and I forget. I'll make sure I link it in the comments below so people can go over there and check it out. And it is kid friendly. It's kid safe. It's family safe. This is a book, Randy. I know when you first saw it, you thought it looked really good. Remember you loving like the art.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's good. It's a good book.
Rob joked with me often. He's like, "You haven't backed it. I haven't backed it yet, but I will. It's got to send one of those to Michigan." My thing is, I may actually have the bully that I'm raising, because I was standing inside of his school, and this little boy walks in and he says, "Dad, you see the boy standing there?" And he said, "That's the boy who was bullying me." And the father says, "Hush, be quiet." And I felt bad because the father didn't know I could hear, but I felt bad. Like, he told his kid to be quiet because his kid was telling him that my son was, "Hey, Dad, that's the little kid that's bullying me." And it's like, and I told my son, I said, "That little boy said you were bullying him. What's going on?" "Well, I'm not." "Yeah, you are." I know how you are. We're going to talk about that at home. And so, sometimes we forget. I think books like this are good because sometimes you might realize that you actually have the bully, not just the kid that's doing the bullying. And in my case, my kid's a bit tall. He's 9, but he's a tall 9-year-old. And, he's had stuff done to him too. And I think that sometimes he, gives back a little bit what he's received. But a book like that might be good for him. I see that Robert Gregory drawing looks nothing like you. Nothing like you. I'm just kidding. No, it's got
It
the same
really
hairstyle.
doesn't, but I kind of like that. I kind of like the cartoon version of myself. And of course, Jax has blonde hair in this. That's deliberate because my family was worried about it being too close to how Jax looks in this day and age. If you notice, there are pictures of him from a long time ago being used on this Kickstarter, not current ones. Because you just don't know in this day and age. It's sad, but you have to, as a parent, protect your child. Yeah. And, that's why I dug up pictures from him being on the road with me, because he's been at more cons than most adults have at this point in his life. The kid's a road warrior over there. 100 cons under his belt, and he's 5.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember, Rob, you were, was Jax, you gotta, I know for you it wasn't a break, but he was gone for like 2 days, and you were a nervous wreck for a few days there. Instead of like me saying, "Oh my God, yes, no children," you were not well.
He's my buddy. He's my little dude. There's nothing like being a dad. He's a great kid. He's loud. He's trying to use his words. Of course, he's on the autistic spectrum right now, and he has horrible ADHD, but he's a sweetheart. I constantly get compliments at shows. They're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that there was a kid here this whole weekend. I thought it was going to be horrible, but he was actually a rather good kid." And he goes up to people. He tries to make friends with them. He's so endearing with the people around him. So I got really lucky. I'll tell you, in a lottery of kids, I got a really sweet little boy. Although he likes to beat on me. He's so vicious. He hits me when I'm not looking. There's below the belt shots. The kid knows how to fight, man. I don't know where he got it, but he's already trying to take me out. Of course, I power slam him and it's over. But, he wakes up in 5 or 10 minutes.
And I'll definitely be back in the book. You got a couple different perks on there. You got 2 issues on there?
we're going to be we've already started work on the second. This is just for the first issue, but all the extra proceeds go directly to making that second book.
Well, no, I mean, do you have a 2-issue per
Well, I have the original Jax the Andersin book, which I made years ago, and you've probably actually, I don't know if you've got one or not, and if not, I could always send one to you. So this is the original story. We were going to work with a bunch of creators and get all of our kids together in one book and call it the Con Kids, and it was going to be this cool thing. And you know what happens in indie comics. People sign on, they don't show up, they get busy, they forget, they don't turn things in. It became a frustrating mess, and I just canceled the project. But I really loved what I had done with the Cat Dad and Supermom character, even though they were supposed to originally be throwaway characters, because that wasn't the point of the story. So I was like, you know what? I want to take those and I want to use them in a new series, and that's how we got Cat Dad and Supermom. And remember, I brag about this. The main villain in the book is a farting elephant that uses farts to actually shape things like the Green Lantern ring. So that comes from an actual online experience where I was doing an online panel and I was answering people's questions. And I was like, there's no such thing as writer's block. And they were like, yes, there is. They got all offended. And they said, oh, yeah, make a book about an elephant. I was like, all right, I can do that. Book about an elephant. And then someone else chimed in because I guess I didn't look intimidated by it. They're like, make one that farts. What? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Elefart, the character that's an elephant and farts. That's right, people. I can do anything when it comes to writing. That's what I am. I'm a writer. Randy probably could do the same thing if you told him to. Very same thing. You know, that's what we do. That's our craft. We make words up. When we spell something wrong, no, we didn't. We just made a new word. You're welcome.
What's one of our themes for this show, navigating the new online culture, the new online normal for creators, live streams, online cons. We got Pops on who's doing an online con. Before we jump to him, I noticed right at the start of this, current situation that's going on, there were a lot of online cons that popped up, a lot. I know at one point there was 4 that, were quickly announced. And I think only out of those 4, only 2 of them actually became something or went through like they were supposed to. And then you got the next batch. I heard rumors of people trying to charge table space. I know Wizards doing their virtual cons. And we talked about those. I know some people aren't fans of them. Others are. Most people aren't fans of ones that try to charge the creator for the money, for space, or try to charge a creator. I've heard someone recently told the creators, any money you make, like, I'm going to create a store with your books. They buy through that store. I get 10% of what, you make, but you keep the rest of it, and you handle the shipping and all that good stuff. And I thought that was a little bizarre too. And I think it was 20%. That is bizarre. That is strange. I wouldn't suggest anybody do anything like that. But Randy, I know me and Rob talked about it. Rob said he thought that, I believe it was Rob. Rob, stop me from putting words in your mouth. But we're kind of like, some of the online cons are starting to dissipate. There's not as many as there were at first. Do you think that's a good or bad thing, Randy?
Just sorting through the minutia. That's the word. That's all. Just a natural setting down. People are going to get their favorites, and the other guys can just do whatever, If you're happy with 9 hits, then that's good. Just keep going. Other than that, it's the supply and demand idea. Yeah, just working its way out.
Now, Pop's show, his show isn't, he's not charging anybody money. He's just trying to help his buddies out, trying to help the industry out. And he had fun last time, so he's back, again. Almost within the same month, isn't it? The first one was this month, wasn't it?
No, it was the first of last month. It was the first weekend of the month. That was like what I figured my rotation would be. I didn't know there'd be 80 different other people doing it too.
Yeah.
Of course, right? Nobody else is going to get this idea too.
Do you?
people came back to do it.
Mhm.
So I get a little bit of gratification knowing that it must have been pretty good for some people because they're wanting to do it again. And I got some new people that like the idea and they're jumping on. I mean, to me, it's about exposure. It's not about what I can make. It's not even so much about what they can make in that 25 minutes, but what the exposure of bouncing everybody's fan bases off each other can do for their fan base.
Mhm.
I mean, there's going to be people from all these different people. There's going to be fans of all these different people watching, and you might pick up a few new fans. I mean, why not go for exposure at a time when you're not getting any exposure?
Have you had any bad experiences though?
Well,
Since
I
you
mean, I
started
had
this?
somebody jump out at the last minute of the last one. I think we talked about that. The dude wanted me to police other people's political or whatever stance. They
Mhm.
want me to police that. Like, oh, you can't let that guy in your con. If he's going to be in your con, I'm out.
You want to talk a little bit about that? What exactly happened? I guess without saying names, what happened?
Well, I mean, the two guys got. I had put together a Facebook chat for the whole group of guests, so that I could put out announcements to let people know what was going on coming up. And two of the guys got into an argument in the group chat in front of all my guests, and I said, "Yo, take that to your private messenger." Within 3 minutes, it was back in the group chat, and it was on me to police this guy's opinion of whatever part of life they were arguing about. Don't care. Do you see what I'm saying? That was what happened to me. I don't care. I'm not policing him for what he believes and what he said to you in private. That's not on me. If you're going to leave my con because one of the guests doesn't agree with you, nobody's ever going to have a con anywhere in any building anywhere.
So this wasn't about this. What was this? An industry discussion? Was this an industry
No,
argument?
it was a alphabet thing.
Okay.
One guy said something, the other guy blew up, and it was like, hold it. You guys want to take that conversation away from my other guests, please? Let's not blow my con up. You're talking about this in front of every guest in the con the day before the con, and you guys are starting an argument, and I can't have it. Take it somewhere else. And that would have been fine. They'd have both still been in the con, whatever. They came right back into the group chat, and it was like the one dude right at me. You need to police this guy. No, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. That's not my job. Does every con organizer that puts together like a big con make sure every one of these guests agree with each other before they get a table?
You'd be surprised.
Those little ones might. You can't do that with a big one.
Yeah, I mean, unless the person does something totally egregious, I think that most con promoters are like, okay, you guys have to try to, go along to get along. But at this point, unless someone says something totally like egregious, Rob and me have both had situations where people have come to me, and I've had recently, people come to me and ask me again, why are people on my show? Why are these people on Indie Vault? I mean, from both sides. I've had people come and say, this guy said X, Y, and Z about me. I don't like him. I'm not coming on your show. I had people come to me and say that we've got, straight up racist on our show. I've tried to, I joke that I don't research anybody, but I like to think that I know enough about them. Sometimes I don't. I got to give credit there.
Okay, I have to say this because I think back before I was like actually trying to do anything to help people like this, I think Rob and I got into a little spat one time and we unfriended each other.
That's so easy to do with Rob, though. I mean,
it doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? It's like there was a time when I didn't care so much about bringing everybody together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There was a time when I didn't care.
Okay? If I remember correctly, that's what the fight was about.
Yeah?
You were getting into it with someone else, and I told you to be respectful on my page. or you
Oh,
didn't have to be on my page.
And I just want you to know, like I'm looking at you right now. I want you to know I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. You know, I'm trying, but as far as my group goes, you are more than welcome there because none of that hits my group page. None of it.
Like Randy, is that something like recently? Because I know recently you know there's been some people that have run afoul of the industry period, and as a promoter of 2 shows now, you're gonna have to make some adjustments. We talked privately about some. We won't talk about those. But how concerned are you that there's going to be adjustments that have to be made to your show because of people's actions? And is that gatekeeping?
I suppose it can be looked at it as that, but I run a friendly, informal show at a farmer's market, so it's almost like a little party. So, and the people that I want at my party is my discretion. You know, it's not like I'm running a 3-day show selling a full range of table spaces and charging a lot of money for people to come in. We're just there to have a good time. And if they're not going to have a good time, if I don't think somebody, and I've got a short, and I mean it's a very short list of people that won't be back that were at the show that didn't add to the positivity and the good time of the show. And it's not just, you know, it's not any one type of person, retailers, publishers, all sorts of, you know, there's a variety of people there that they just conveniently won't be back. That's all. If you don't want to have fun and put smiles on people's faces, I honestly don't want you there.
Right.
And it's not it's not a turning away the money thing or the money's green. It's that I do a friendly little show inside of a farmer's market, and I have a waiting list of people who want to come in and have fun. And if you don't want to come in and have fun, don't come. Don't come in. You know.
There you go.
We're just here to sell, and like everybody else has been saying, sell and promote great comics, entertainment, and have see smiles on people's faces. That's why I give away big stacks of books as door prizes, and we have a big cosplay contest where we give away a ton of stuff. You know, just to get those eyes wide open on the kids and going, "Oh, this is mine." And I hand it to him. I said, "Yeah, you're gonna have to go out to your car now and drop all this stuff off and come back." That's all.
Rob, what were you saying? I'm sorry. Your hands up.
I didn't want to interrupt.
It's all right.
I don't think you call Randy gatekeeping. He's trying to keep it civil. Randy's got to hold his tongue. He can't rip off anyone's head anytime he wants. We all have to act civilly. And if we stop acting civilly, let me tell you, I am a vicious person. You think my sense of humor is twisted? You should see when you piss me off, how dark I can get. But if I do that, I lose. And that's the standard I expect everyone. If I can't unload, you can't unload. You have to treat everyone the same way. Don't care if you agree. I only care that when my place, everyone feels respected. And I just think that's what Randy's trying to do. Cultivate an area where freedom of ideas can live. I don't allow dead noise to try to kill conversations. I just think that's what Randy's doing. It's what we're all trying to do in life. And we keep talking about this gatekeeping. No, gatekeeping is Randy being like, I don't like that book because there's a gay person in it. That would be gatekeeping, and that's not what Randy's doing. So I think it's even dangerous to use that word, to actually just want people to be fucking civil. How hard is it to treat each other like you want to be treated? And this, we see it online all the time. You disagree with me, go fuck yourself. My answer to that is, oh, honey, it's been so long. Can you come over and do that for me?
Well, that and there's gotten to be
say that.
there's gotten to be such a nasty rash of negativity out there, and I'm even in private conversations with people that are constantly harping on one aspect, one person, or one thing after the next, and going negative and negative. And I have a hard time with it myself, because I've got people out there that I don't want to associate with, people out there that I don't want to have anything to deal with, that are in the industry. And it's like, dude, just don't, you're wasting energy if you're sending negative, and I don't mean to sound like a new ager, but here goes. Yeah, you don't need that negative energy. You don't need to use that energy negatively to send out to somebody when you can be sending out some positivity to people with a smile on your face, a friendly video, a convention where you're making people smile, a comic book where you're giving somebody a chance to lose themselves, if only for a split second, and get away from their real problems. That's what this whole business is about, is entertainment.
Is that Druid? I thought it said drug lord for a second.
I did too.
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
yeah.
Drug lord of
Flames
flames
and
and nightmares.
yeah.
Hey,
How are
Druid.
you? He says, hey, hello, good evening to you. Is that your comic there? Is that your art? Let us know. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I agree with what Rob said. I mean, I guess that's what I was asking. Is that gatekeeping? If I say, hey, I don't want someone at my show because they do this or they do that, is that gatekeeping? I mean, guys, this, people always say this is a small industry. What I found about this industry is that it is small, but it's very good at weeding out people who are really shouldn't even be here.
Anthony's in the house and he says it best. Try not to offend, try even harder not to be offended.
Yeah. I mean, that's absolutely true. I for a while this industry's been getting by on just who you are and what you can do, and people have started to look over merit, your ability, what you brought to the table. And you can go around and you can friend every person who can hold a pencil and tell them how great their art is, and be a swell guy, but in the end they'll figure you out. And I think that's where a lot of people who get pushed out through those means, they end up saying, "Oh, I was gatekept. They're gatekeeping me out there." And everybody knows you're a piece of shit. Is all. It's not that you run out of you. It's not that you're no one wants you to make money. No one wants you to make. No, you are a horrible person. What was that? Sounds interesting outside. Yeah. And Anthony's right though, but he is. I try hard not to offend. Try even harder not to be offended.
You got people making noise outside your house?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. That was either a car accident or a gunshot, and I don't think it was a gunshot. It's probably a car accident.
Let's hope everybody's all right.
Yeah. Anthony says, "Stop putting me on blast, Varian."
Why are you putting Anthony on blast for?
Yeah. Anthony's gonna be.
Now, seriously though, this whole thing for me has been a learning experience, because before, my image was my image to keep however I wanted to. Then somebody turned me into a comic book character and all this other stuff with the group and the cons, and I'm trying to work on a better image, but I'm not going to sell out my beliefs at the same time. Okay, so where I'm trying not to jump at every baited hook I see, which is my main problem, because as long as I don't do it on other people's pages, that's where I've realized. Somebody comes on my page and asked me the other day if I was trolling them in my conversation on my page, and it came to me that I might have done that to people on their page, not gone and asked them if they were trolling me, but trolled their page.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm learning something from this, okay? Because somebody comes on my page, gets into my conversation, and then asks me if I'm trolling them. And it's like, wow, it's gotten that twisted, where now you're a troll on your own page.
Well, I do some light trolling.
No, I mean, what's really going on is calling you a troll in your own conversation on your own Facebook page, not in the group, not just.
You're gonna have a problem though with your show, in that people are gonna. I mean, if you do an online show, and Rob's probably had to deal with this because he's been doing these panels. Like, and there's nothing like, Rob, how many panels are you up to a week now?
We do 5 during the weekday, 2 side shows usually on the weekends, an hour apiece. Usually like we did an indie conversation, a round table, and now we're trying to do creator spotlights, put some creators in there. And the panels during the week, like last week, you were actually a guest host on one of them. Because I like to showcase other people. It's not about me, it's about our industry, and it's about getting some really great creators out there. But there are a lot of people who don't know how to speak properly, who don't know how to behave themselves on camera, and don't know what not to say. And they step in it like King did, apparently. He probably could have articulated what he meant a lot better, and he said something he probably regrets now. He probably didn't realize it at the moment, because it does take some time to get used to your being live. I mean, I was talking about a kid's book, and a curse popped out of my mouth. I just got comfortable with my panelist. It happens to us all, and it takes a little bit of time to get used to doing this. You and Randy have it down to a science. You know how to do it. But I mean, there's some people out there that you got to be worried when you let them on your show, because it's, I mean, you know of a situation where I had to pull a plug on something. Yeah. So you know how it is.
We just got yelled at for not pulling a plug fast enough on King Daniel.
You know,
talking about somebody else pulling a plug, but that's a whole
and what are you
story.
supposed to do? No, you're supposed to like anal sex, King. Like, well, how do you correct that at that moment, other than just being like, okay, we're not going to talk about that? And I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with anal sex. Listen, if that guy wants to have a date, I'm telling you, it's been a long time. I've been alone for a long period. I'm willing to experiment. But no, what I'm trying to say is that we all make some mistakes, and everyone, instead of letting someone make a mistake, instantly wants to go after him. He was trying to make a point, from what it sounds like, about his fandom. And fandom is part of your heart. You love comics. And he was just saying, this isn't the character I remember, and this isn't for me. And instead of hearing that, everyone's like, oh, I'm so offended. You want to be offended? You come to my messenger and you ask to be offended. 10 minutes, I'm telling you, you'll be in tears.
I often joke with you about I'll send Rob all kinds of horrible stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I send Rob, Randy, they get all the worst memes.
That's just because you like triggering people, that's all.
Me and Barry go back and forth giggling about it and giving it new names.
I've also started sending horrible memes to Stephanie Menard as well. And when I realized she could take it, I'm like, hey, all right, here you go. Here's some horrible memes for you, Steph. I sent them to Lola too, but you know, she just sends me like the rolled eye emoji, or she'll tell me ill, nasty.
You're just afraid of that shoe. You know it's coming.
She probably says that's the best you can do.
Mark Hatter says, back had to deal with our PPP loan. Just got news we were approved. That's awesome. You know, cons
good.
You know, at least we know that, you know, I think that as far as, you know, Mark's show is concerned, he'll be again November. He still got a lot of time to put his show together.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, and let's hope that he's able to do it. Yeah. I like Grand Rapids. I like that show. And Mark's, you know, Mark is experimental with all types of shows. He did a show years ago, and it was an indie show that I really wish. I'm like, Mark, we're gonna talk. You're gonna have to sell me the name rights to that show. Sell me the name rights to the show, and we'll see if we can get it started back. I need you to sell me the rights to Grasp, please. It was a cool name. But then I have to have the show in Grand Rapids, unless the GR can stand for something else. Great is a GR. That wouldn't be, no.
It's the G.
Yeah, great. Retro. Great. Help me out, guys. Everyone's smart.
Don't think about it now. You can always deal with that later.
Randy, I have a question from IndieVolt Radio.
Awesome. What's our radio number, by the way?
Which numbers are sitting at 13,000.
77. Fantastic. We love all you people out there listening. And you know what? It's probably easier to listen to us on the radio because we definitely have the faces made for radio, all except for Lola.
Yeah. She's
the indie princess.
I don't even look at my face.
Yeah, no one looks at her face for now.
For some reason.
Don't
do that. That's creepy.
More
ways than one.
Grasp Expo, Mark.
Sorry.
Question from IndieVolt Radio. how do you guys handle if a troll or a host gets into the comments and starts going crazy?
We just had one earlier that tried to put a novel up there. We're just here to have fun,
Story
guys.
about
And
Shrek, man.
we've had some crazy people in the chat before, but we will slam them if they get out of hand.
Yeah, you get yourself,
And that doesn't happen very often, though.
you get yourself a moderator and some other people.
So thankfully, we have a civil show, and not a whole lot of people in the comments get out of hand. So
yeah,
Except on my show.
yeah, Lola's
except on
show.
Lola's show.
Yeah. Wednesdays at 9. It gets a little bad.
That's Geekgasm. Only on Indie Volt, Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
It needs that soundbite whenever that picture comes up.
That little moan.
There
you go.
Yeah. I'll try to get that done. Yeah. Again, kicking them. Even guests. I mean, you might get a guest when we used to put out, and we still do sometimes when we do live call nights. We'll put the link in the chat. Let anybody come in that wants to come in and say, hey,
Even this guy.
Even this guy. Even
that guy.
Yeah. That guy right there.
Anthony.
Yeah. Anthony.
I had to come in and defend my honor, bro. Varian was talking all this bad
Pushing your
stuff
buttons
about
again. You just can't
He
let
was over there saying, telling everybody about my reputation behind closed doors. I don't appreciate you telling
There we go.
people about
Stepping
that
in.
stuff, man.
By the way, I just found out that a banquet is a sidewalk.
That a what?
A banquet is a sidewalk.
A banquet is a meal.
It's a sidewalk in New.
It's also a TV dinner.
It's a
You
sidewalk.
stupid Randy.
It's a sidewalk in Albans.
Oh, okay.
It's a what?
A sidewalk.
A banquet?
Yeah.
I thought that's where like people got together and like ate food.
Come on, very.
Yeah.
Banquet's chicken. I had it. It's the oven chicken. It's the one that comes in the box and you put it in. It's like Southern fried chicken, but not really. But it's what you get when you grow up and
It's a TV dinner you slide in the oven for 30 minutes.
Come on, guy. We know what banquet is. Stop pulling out legs.
No,
What are
yeah,
you
no.
saying? What are you saying it is, Varian? A sidewalk?
A sidewalk.
Who told you that?
A website. About I'm trying
He
to
trusts
find it,
everything on the internet. He knows.
I'm trying to find it, but apparently
If it was on the internet, it has to be real.
Was
Do
it
you think
Wikipedia? Because I change some shit in Wikipedia all the time. Just
no, I'm trying to find it, but apparently I bookmark a lot of porn. Hold on.
A wrong banquet.
Fucking guy.
That's a wrong banquet, dude.
3 o'clock in the morning.
I thought you said that. I thought Randy said the long banquet.
No.
3 o'clock.
Wrong,
He's gonna be
wrong
like, see,
banquet.
here it is. Here it is. This is what banquet means, you son of a bitch.
He was watching orgy porn and said banquet.
Oh
what
my
he thought.
goodness,
All right.
Randy. Jesus.
I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna bring it up right now.
No, don't bring up porn.
No, it's not
Oh,
porn.
please do.
Stop it.
It's been lonely.
We're still
All
on
right.
YouTube.
Mo Better is an improvement, but that's right because
No, wait, but what's the site? We have to know what the site is now.
Slangwich.com.
Okay. It's
Slanguage.
official.
Yep.
So this is
A
very
banquet.
official.
Wait. Wait. Well, this is supposed to be New Orleans slang.
Yes.
Okay, I can debug. Okay. Go ahead.
All right, get him.
Don't
Get him.
believe everything you read.
A banquet is a sidewalk. It says it right there.
I ain't never heard that before. Never heard that before. I heard the one that's not on there is neutral ground.
Yeah, I think it is. Hold on. Wait.
Is it on there? Because neutral ground is what we call median, but we call it neutral ground.
I'm gonna bring it up.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Bring it up. Yeah. That was on here.
I
Yeah.
just watched a video the other day of a guy who camped out on neutral ground.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Making groceries.
Neutral ground. Yeah, making groceries. Muffalata. Y'all don't know what a muffalata is?
No.
Yeah, we do.
I didn't know what a muffalata was.
Really?
Let me tell you, suck the heads is completely different up in New York. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's different in San Francisco as well.
Muffalata is a sliding nightmare to hell on your toilet if you're not used to
Oh
it.
my goodness.
Well,
Making groceries.
Boom.
I mean, there's somebody. Let me tell you something. There's New Orleans. You're not gonna say Louisiana. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody from New Orleans who says Louisiana. We say Louisiana. but we don't say Louisiana.
What's a Metri? Metri?
Where you at? Wait, where's it? Oh, that's Metri, bro.
Metri, okay.
That's Metri. What it is it's Metairie. But if you're from here, you say Metri. I mean, Erster po' boy. It's like we say. You can say Earl, Erster zinc. You know, for sink, Earl for oil, oyster, Erster. Suck the heads are making groceries. It means we just going to the groceries.
Very
Nolans.
You're killing me.
Nolans. I don't know.
Nolans?
Where you at? How we say? Yeah, I mean, it's like I say New Orleans. So Nolans, it's kind of you pushing it. For true? That for true, bro? Come on now. You heard me?
And that's why I messed with you this morning. I said I can't. I can't. Yeah, I can't. I can't.
Negative hands. I can't. I mean, that's like that stuff's pushing it, bro. I don't know if that's uniquely New Orleans. I can't. Parish is
Varian. I find this very racist, and they're picking on an area. I'm just saying, Varian, that you're using this. This is just you're gonna get.
This is how he gatekeeps, bro. This is how he gatekeeps. This is techniques.
Now he's telling you literally you have to sound this way from now on when you're on the show. He's literally handing you a script and saying, "This is how I expect you to act from now."
So listen, bonjour, y'all, because we're gonna eat them po' boys down in the parish. You heard? On your bayou now, because it's the murder capital of the USA. Storming for senator, bro, because it's K-15 down there with the motive girl beat whore.
What?
What?
You got to see the translation.
Well, the sad thing was that I was writing the script and I needed something from New Orleans and you weren't around, so I'm like, oh, I can find slang, and this is what I found.
What you got him saying?
I was gonna have him talk about I was looking for insults and I couldn't find them, but I did find that, and so I was like, oh, that'll work. Matt D says, clearly the industry has been affected by the current crisis, but I'm wondering if there's any potential opportunities for up-and-coming artists and writers. Could the market for self-publishing face an insurgence? Yeah, I think it already has.
Matt D, have you been watching YouTube at all? Because you really need to sit and start surfing around YouTube on some of these comic sites, and then come back and there's your answer to your question is up here on YouTube. Check around some of these sites, watch some of our podcasts, and you'll know there is. I don't want to say there has been no better time, because there's been lots better times, but
it's a good one.
It's a really good time right now for somebody doing really good entertainment to get it done and get it out and get it seen.
More better.
So, YouTube is definitely the way to do that. YouTube and the podcast like we're doing are excellent ways of getting that done. Tough Nerd Toy said, sadly, I understood everything he said.
He must be from Louisiana.
Louisiana.
And
Robert Shepard says meatballs.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna send that link to New Orleans link to Anthony so he can understand.
Start looking around for a recipe from Nutria Stew.
Yeah,
Nutria. I'll tell you what, them boys will cook that Nutria, bro. That ain't no bullshit. You think you'd be like, but you taste that shit, you'd be like, God damn.
Oh, dude, I've been down there once, and the only thing I really remember about being down there is it didn't matter what you cooked; it was awesome.
Apparently, the Taints. You guys call your football team the Taints?
Wow, man, you might get punched. You say that shit in New Orleans.
The restaurants we ate at down there at the show made losing all the money at the show worthwhile. So.
Yeah. Food down there give you a heart attack, man. You just eat a little bit of that shit. Everything's cooked in butter.
Yeah.
Everything's got salt on it. I mean, when I say cooked in butter, I mean sticks of butter.
Yeah.
And not just like there ain't no pats. You just basically just like just throw a stick in there. You know?
Yeah.
It's all good.
So you're gonna look into this banquet thing, right?
Absolutely. I'll look into it, but I mean, if I'm going for slang, again, you probably have two different types of slang. You probably have whatever's kind of current, but then you have old school New Orleans. If you go talk to old school New Orleans, yeah, it'll be a little bit different. You know what I mean? The stuff they kind of said is going to be a little bit different than what they might be doing today. Like K15, I never heard that before.
Yeah,
I never heard K15.
You had to change to K16 the year after.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't quite. That's what I'm saying. Like some of this stuff seems kind of like made up. Like, oh, it's K15. You know, Katrina 15 years later. I never heard that.
Yes, yeah, that's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, most motherfuckers here are so drunk they don't remember when Katrina was. When? How long?
Look, Anthony, can we talk about something that you did this week?
Do we have to?
We don't have to.
No, I'm playing. You know, I'm joking with you. Yeah, you know, when it comes to me and you, V, everything's on the table.
Well, Anthony was on the show. What's the name of the show? I forgot it.
The name of the show is I was on with Preston Acevedo, and we do. I'm not sure if it was Debate Me Motherfucker or that's one of his shows. Or was it the other one?
Sounds like a Rob Anderson production, doesn't it?
It was the Preston Acevedo. Yeah, it was. I think we were closing out.
Rob Anderson's grabbing his book and going, "Yeah, I can't use that name now."
I think we were closing out Rockabilly Road Trip.
I did a guest appearance on that too.
It gets wild. I was on. Yeah, it's wild.
And it's about 48 minutes in, and the world blew up. And Anthony said, "Okay, here's the news, everybody." It was like a CNN interview. He said he's taking his talents. He's taking his comic book talents over to Comics Gay.
It happened, bro. It happened. I told him, this is my tagline. I said, well, if I'm going to get called a Nazi, I might as well get some Nazi gold out the deal. So, you know.
It was one of the things, and I know that I can wait. I'm gonna watch it. See, look at that view count just dropped.
Did it really? It did. It dropped 3. Yeah.
I wonder, Anthony, what happens? Well, have you noticed any fallback? Have you noticed any flack yet since you've come out?
No. I mean, I'm a small fish, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I'm a small fish. So you know, unless I made some type of headway, you know what I'm saying? Where maybe you move up the ranks, and you move up the ranks basically visibility wise,
right?
You know what I'm saying? If I pull in say 50,000, you know what I'm saying? Well, then all of a sudden it's like, well, that's people are gonna notice that. I don't give a shit where you are. They're gonna notice stuff like this. You cross 100, then I think you become totally fair game.
I think Rob has his hand up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just want to know, is there like a membership package that's coming through? Do you get a T-shirt? Is there an ID card? Like, I've never actually heard someone go, "I'm now comics." Is it like a democratic thing where they have a party for you? Is it going to be like the Quinceatella, where there's going to be like a dress and formal wear?
I did see confetti.
Rob, you would have to join Comics Gay to find out.
I need to know these things before I weigh my options. And
that was the thing. It was all lanyard, bro. Because at the end of the day, what I felt, and again, just you said it. I looked at everything. I dug through everything. I spent so many hours, man, going through videos, live streams, the whole nine, bro. And at the core of what I felt Comics Gate was that it was essentially a consumer revolt. Is that it was consumers, bro, who some of them happen to be creators, who basically said, look, we don't really care for this agenda-driven stuff. We just don't, man. Like, it just is what it is. And, if you told a good story, I don't really care what it's about. As long as craft comes first, as long as you're a storyteller first. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. Not all books I'm going to agree with. I don't care. But if the book is built on merit, go for it. Let the audience, let it find an audience. No problem. I think it was the forced diversity. I think it was the forced stuff. And I think as honest creators, and I think this is what got under people's skin and caused Comics Gate to really kind of to become something is that a lot of us who are honest about what we like and what we don't like, we're made to feel as if we were wrong, as if something was wrong with us.
Yeah.
And I think being a good person, you stop and you weigh that. You go, well, is there something wrong? Is there? Am I off? Let me look and let me spin. And then you spend this time, and then you come back and you go, no, I don't think so. And then all of a sudden, more people start going, no, I don't think something's wrong with me either. And then you realize what's been done, and you go, this was disingenuous, man. And you're trying to make people feel bad about saying, I don't like that. I don't like it because it sucks. Not because it's got this in it, not because it's got that, because it's just not a good story. It's just that simple.
Well, when you decided, okay, I'm gonna go Comics Gay,
Mm-hmm.
and you said you took a lot of things. There was a lot of options away, and we get asked, do you have them on your show? Well, why would you have one show? I think I tell people all the time, I like good comics.
Mm-hmm.
I know people who are what they label SJWs who are capable of putting out good comics. I'm gonna have them on my show.
Right.
I
just find that to be that's one of those bizarre things where I think it's again, I try to be good faith in these things, and I don't have a good answer for it, but it's one of these weird things where it's like, yeah, bro, like no, I mean I said it was Comics Gay. It's pretty much happy birthday. Like I'm the same dude I was 2 seconds ago as when I said I stand for the same things.
Yeah.
What I just find is I find that there are some people over here who seem to be moving in that direction, and I want to build something. These guys look like they're building something I want to be a part of, and it's like, and you and Randy both know, like I took time with this, man. Like Aaron says, I educated myself, and I just came to this place where it was like, this is where I'm going. I met some good guys. Preston's a really good guy. Johnny's a really good guy. I met some good people over there, and then when I went in, man, I was met by good people who were like, hey, man, how can we help you out? How can welcome, this, that, and the other if you want to do it. And it was very community. And let me fucking give you the news behind closed doors and behind the scenes. It's just people, man. It's just people talking comic. It's just people talking about comic books and about their next project and about, oh yeah, I got this project coming up. It's about this. Can you guys help promote it? Hey, I got this. That's all that's talked about. That's all it really is.
Rob says Rob's hand is up. What was that, Rob?
Was it? I'm sorry, Rob. I'm fucking running off the mouth.
No. I actually want to kind of come in and rally with you a little bit. Look, I'm not saying I'm Comics Gate. I support all sides, and I've always said that. I'm always going to be that supportive guy. But I will say this. When Dirk fucking Manning is the face of indie comics, and that's on that side, how do you choose that? How come we're not talking about the people that they're putting in the front row of these supposed indie creators that are all for other people and are some of the most toxic human beings in the world? And I say this all the time. I can put something up about Comicsgate, and it all comes about attacking Comicsgate. It doesn't matter what I say about it. Donnie Cates shows up on the Comicsgate show. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. This is the worst thing ever. This is the worst thing ever. Oh my God. Donnie Cates was on Ethan Van Sciver's show, and he was tricked. Someone went over his fucking house, stuck alcohol in his fucking throat, and made him answer a goddamn phone. That's what happened. But Dirk Manning can fuck with women for a fucking decade, and everyone's like, oh, well, he's sorry.
A number.
What?
That's the only time I ever watched. I mean, I just, like you guys know, I'm not all into that. I watched Ethan's show that day. So ask me why. But that day that Donnie called in, okay? And Donnie, the way I heard it, really wished he could have said hi to the Comicsgate people. But
I'll drink to that.
Backlash.
He just couldn't.
He was afraid of the backlash he would get. And I'm new to this. I'm looking at this. I'm totally wide open to whatever's going on. Had no dog in this fight yet.
And also, though,
Donnie could have hung up the phone at any time, bro.
But you have to admit, if you go back and listen to that conversation, it's very obvious Donnie was 3 sheets to the wind too, and he was hoping that Ethan would stop his program so that they could have a personal conversation. And Ethan kept going, I'm on the air. I'm talking to thousands of people. Say hello to the thousands of people that I'm talking to. That's exactly it.
I would like to ask you guys this. Okay, so like I recently found that a gentleman who I was Facebook friends with, and I had actually considered getting some work from, unfriended me, and he unfriended me because I have friends that are CGers.
Dude, I think he's in the back room right now.
And well, no, not this person. This person.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay.
Hang on.
Guilt by association.
You guys in the back room?
I think he's there.
Let
me check.
Ah.
No. Damn it. He's not there right now.
Just missed him.
He should be back. He might be back any time though.
Okay. Yeah, we should work on that.
Well, I'll keep watching in the green room.
But
I'll listen for the munching Cheetos.
Yeah, I that and the frog sounds.
Frog sounds.
I had a gentleman unfriend me on Facebook because I'm friends with CGers. I mean, you know, you got Simon and a couple other guys. I'm friends with those guys. I have no problem
on the
with
show.
them. Yeah, I've got no problems with them. I've got no problems with the other side either. I just like good comic books. And I remember when I was in elementary school, there was this kid named William, and William would come up to me, and he would say to me, "Hey, I'm not your friend anymore."
Sorry. And
as a sensitive kid, I was like, why not? And I remember spending the whole day trying to find out why William wasn't my friend. And then I finally, at the end of the day, because he says, "Oh, I'm your friend again. I just found someone say you said something." But William had seen the way it affected me that day, trying to find out. I mean, I'm like 8, 9 years old, trying to find out what I had done wrong. He didn't be my friend anymore. And he started to use that against me. So like every other week, he wasn't my friend anymore. Just so he could watch me. Yeah. And then I started, I got the point when one day he came to me and he said, "I'm not your friend anymore." And I had so much of it, I used a long string of insults that I probably shouldn't have used. Looking back on it, I would get expelled from school now. I questioned him, and he never did it again. And I promised myself I will never be in that situation. So what you gonna say, Rob?
Did you have a boyfriend in grade school? Did you know you were having a boy? Because it sounds like you had a boyfriend.
You know what? It was weird because the next year the same kid tried to steal my girlfriend. It was weird. Like he didn't want me to have anything. Maybe there's a good chance he might have been
watching. He's still watching. He's like, "One day I'm gonna get you, honey. One day."
I'm married now, William. Thank you. No. I'm flattered. But
sure, he could be El Nolan.
Looking at you all funny.
But yeah, I promised up to that point that I was never going to be put in a situation like that again. And so when I find people telling me, "Well, if you can't be friends with me, if you're friends with that person," I start to wonder why. Because here's the thing. A lot of people have done very shitty things to me in this industry, yet people still give them work. People still give them work. People still work with them. People still invite them to shows, and it's okay. And I'm like, "Hey, this guy did this to me. Why are you allowing him here?" And it's like, "Oh, well, again, like you said, they apologize, or they didn't do it to me. They did that to you there, and that's your burden. That's between you and him." Okay, well then I can't get mad when when Anthony says, "Hey, I'm joining comedy." I can't get mad with him. And I think people tend to think when people join these groups that it's like it's like Anthony was out there on Nitro the other night, and all of a sudden Kevin Nash walked out with a CG shirt, waved in front of his face. He's gonna put it on and start doing nefarious things the next week.
Correct.
All of a sudden, he's right there. He's a heel. He's hitting people in the head with chairs and shit at the con, which would be awesome, by the way.
Can I be in the rafters? Can I be in the rafters just watching? Let me be in the rafters.
Well, we all know how that ends if you're in the rafters just watching. You just join the subgroup and paint your face red. So you just join anyway.
But it's not the same. It's not the same. Wolfpack for life.
I think that that's how we're all wrestling geeks here. I think that Anthony's still the same Anthony from from 4 or 5 months ago. He's still the same guy. Nothing's changed about him.
He seems the same.
His hat is looking a little bit more. There's a little bit more pimp in his hat now. Just a little.
You got a
bit
little more tilt on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, what's that? What's that? I got that CG, boy.
Yeah, he might end up getting a bigger house at some point.
I mean, I hope. I hope we all get bigger houses.
He might. Now the only thing that be different is I pick answering messages for cigarettes. I'm like, what do you want, peasant?
Oh,
you guys
that hurts, bro.
Well, he might.
I would never treat Randy that way. Or Lola.
Yeah. The rest
Variant.
The variant, on the other hand,
different.
oh yeah.
I mean, like your boy Fletch on Fletch too.
I don't even get mentioned. I'm right here, and Pops is here too. And neither one of us is on the damn. That's cool.
I would never treat Pops that way.
Now you're gonna find out about the fucking show I have. All right.
You know, I mean, you know. Hey, baby, look, I'm making a phone call. Look, CG. This is part of the decoder ring. I got my decoder ring right here.
Tomorrow,
That's your secret decoder ring in the mail. Yes.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Rob, have you been told not to cover any Kickstarters or Indiegogo campaigns because of the person's affiliation?
The minute I cover an Indiegogo, well, Rob, I don't understand why you're picking a side. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Well, you know what Indiegogo is. I'm like, a company? No. They're owned by Comics Gay. No, I actually looked up. They're actually not owned by Comics Gay.
Oh,
That's
crap.
terrible, bro.
Who's been spreading that rumor?
I'm like,
That's
Comics Gay
fucking
don't own
terrible,
shit.
bro.
They're
Terrible,
a make-believe group online of people who are just hanging out together. They're not
That's
even
terrible,
a biker
bro.
gang. They're not even there yet. They haven't
That's
gotten
fucking
LLC yet.
terrible.
Well, wait, I thought you owned Indiegogo.
Shh. We can't let them know that.
Well,
No,
the thing is that's the kind of rumors because it's a direct backlash from the reality that Kickstarter is anti-comics Gay.
Yep.
But I don't understand. I mean, like, I feel like the little tortilla girl. Can't we have both? I mean, you think the market's going to decide, and
Sure.
And that's why Kickstarter's down 35%.
Kickstarter can only decide. I mean, the market can only decide when it sides with them. If it's not siding with them, it's a fluke, it's a mistake,
Yes.
and it wasn't real.
Yes.
Now, Pops, let's talk about your show. Now, I know your Facebook group is Comics Related Madness, and it is going to be Larry's and Chase's. I am here. Rob owns IGG. You didn't know that?
Yeah, Larry.
That's
the way it works.
Larry says, "Tell Pops I said hey." But you're doing another show this week. Now, what's the name of the show? The Comic Con you're doing? The virtual.
It's just the CRM Online Con 2. You know, I mean, I'm gonna be broadcasting it in the group, and it'll be shared out to other groups. Of course, that's part of what we do is make sure we get as much exposure as we can for everybody. Come on, let's go back to the CG Ethan talk.
Mark Hahn just says, "Come on, you guys. We all know EVS runs all CG people."
No, you don't run them, Andy. You don't run them, Randy. You own.
I just want to say
He's always listening, though.
I wanted people to be able to go to your camp, your com this weekend. So CRM
Online Con.
Online Con. They
Comic Related Madness. That's the name of the group. That's where we're going to be broadcasting it.
Yep.
Anybody can come join. You know, if you're a comic person, any comic person, and you love comics, that's what the group's about. If you're an industry person looking to network, like Mark D earlier, that's what we do in that group. That's what I want from that group is everybody to network, man. At least 1/3 of the 1,000 people in my group are artists, want to be published artists, writers, creators. The original core members were people like Monty Michael Moore and Brian Polito. That's what the group started as. The virus just made it an online thing, a live online thing. There wasn't no plans for any of that. It was just going to be a good comic group, a good comic Facebook group, better than the ones I've been in. So far, I like to think it is. You know, we'll let history write that story down the line somewhere. all of you are welcome to join it, though. And as far as this weekend, starting at noon Eastern till 6 Eastern, there's going to be some great people coming out, hanging out for a half hour, talking about their projects, showing off their art. Some people sell, some people Q&A, some people panel. It's all open format. There's no, there's no rules to it. Everybody just come out and do what you do, talk about what you got. It's like QVC meets comic related madness.
Okay.
You do your little 25-minute infomercial and, a little exposure. That's all. Exposure's king. I like that term because I think especially right now in the time when there is no major competition, exposure's really king. You want as many people to see you as possible.
I don't know if that's the right tagline for the show right now. Exposure is king. We're exposed to certain things right now, like certain illnesses that are sweeping the globe. That exposure is king.
It's a personal catchphrase.
Okay, I'm just making sure. And then, like in the wintertime, exposure ain't king. In the wintertime, you go out there and get hypodermia, and your nipples fall off.
Well, in the wintertime, now I don't know why people didn't do this before, but in the wintertime, I'm thinking in the off season, why haven't there been online cons?
There has. People are afraid to shop in the winter. People are afraid to.
Never seen one.
Yeah, Larry actually got a couple of warrants for that, exposing himself. Rob, your hand is up.
That's why nobody wants. Don't
What's
do it.
What's the tagline of my site, Varian?
You have a tagline?
The Global Digital Comic Con since 2015. Why hasn't anyone thought of that? I have no idea, Varian.
Well,
see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I'm new to all this.
I thought the tagline of your site was "It's okay to be curious."
I'm new to all this. I've never seen one in the
different site.
Different
site.
I will tell you this. I think that, and you guys want to go back to the whole the Ethan owning everybody. Mark says I like to expose myself in my business as much as I can. I listen. I mean, exposure is crazy. Matt says I'll be back in a little. I appreciate you all, Rainy. I appreciate all your work, especially the preservers based on the Treehouse and 4 Mile Nature Reserve.
Thanks,
keeping
man.
kids interested in helping preserve nature and all the anniversary sketches. Looking forward to more Flint comics. Hope to see you at the Flint comic at the next Comic Con.
I hope so too. April 17th, 2021.
Yeah.
That's what we're aiming for, Matthew. Thank you so much, buddy. I do appreciate you. I do.
I would like to. We're approaching our time to go, but I would
Rob's
like to say
putting his
this.
coat on. It's Lola's zipping up. It's almost time to get out of here.
I will say this.
Where you go?
Yeah, don't grab
Oh,
me,
okay.
Lola.
Sorry, Lola.
She grabbed
But
me.
at least you checked. It was all good.
Larry says he's just a humble hot dog merchant.
That's what we all are. Well, hopefully, it's what we all are.
That's it, Larry. That's it, brother.
Buy our hot dogs.
You Lola.
Those aren't hot dogs.
You
Can't buy those.
I don't know. They're easy to rent. Anyway.
Stupid.
Wow, you're gonna get that shoe yet, buddy? Hope you like the couch.
I will say this though about any group that you're a part of.
You don't want to be a part of it.
Like I see stuff from certain creators, and I've been accused of, I wear the coonskin cap for a reason because I've been called some nasty names online. I will tell people this. Remember this: that pendulum swings back the other way, and it usually swings back very, very hard. It might not swing back this year. There he is, Silver Spoon Coon.
Silver Spoon Coon.
But remember this: that pendulum swings back the other way, and it may swing back very hard. And some of the shit that has been said online, may end up clearancing a lot of people out. We might find a lot of, but then again, I thought a very wise man brought it to my attention the other day. He says,
"You're welcome."
Varian, Oh, wasn't you, Randy? Wasn't you? He said, he said, Varian, don't worry, dude. They're already canceled. Look at you. They can't get into any shows. They can't get into. Look. They're scrap. They're fighting for scraps.
Yep.
Or as Jeff Bridges said, and is that Jeff Bridges? Or William Hurt? Who was that? Jeff Bridges and Iron Man 1. A box of scraps. They're fighting for a box of scraps, and they're not making any money. And so, I mean, when you start seeing campaigns close 600,000, 700,000, you start to ask questions. What is this person doing over there? It's like seeing your neighbor. You and your neighbor work at the same job, but he's making all this money. Wait a fucking minute. What is he doing that I'm not? And you want to look over the fence and maybe even take him out for.
That's once you can get past the jealousy and the resentment.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm looking over to see what he's doing. I don't,
I heard your neighbor's doing the Wolverine. Too soon?
His neighbor's been crashing his car, apparently.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know what's going on over there. No, I mean, I grew up with. Both parents worked for General Motors. I was what they call a spoiled kid. My wife says I'm spoiled to this day. She says you're still spoiled. I was also only child out of my parents' union, so it's like I had only child syndrome. Both parents work in the factories. I was a bit spoiled, and I didn't understand when I would call my friends sometimes, and they couldn't do things. They couldn't go to the movies. They didn't get that new video game. But at the same time, so when I see my neighbors, someone I work with, and I consider us all coworkers. When I see Randy making money, I'm like, how's he doing that?
Family.
Yeah. It's like a family member. Wait a minute. How the hell is cousin Randy doing that?
Yeah.
Is he selling drugs? Is he lacing his?
Randy's grandpa.
Oh, is he? Oh, sorry. Lola says Randy's grandpa. Yeah. So
Gandalf. You pronounced it wrong. Gandalf.
It's like I want to know how you guys are doing it.
Varian, I am sorry that you were an only kid and you still weren't the favorite kid. I am sorry about that.
There you go.
Terrible.
Yeah, I still wasn't the favorite.
How dare you?
I had a rough man.
You did not have it rough.
Mark says I'm Varian ain't getting into those. No, I didn't. I actually Lola.
I had it rough.
Yeah, Lola jokes about me about you grew up in the suburbs. I'm like, I did.
He did.
You know what? Damn it, I'm proud of it. That's right.
That means you come from a successful family.
Right. I grew up in a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. Fuck off. 2-car garage. I don't care. I don't care. See this?
You're book smart. I'm street smart.
See my nose? I'm not having to you book smart. Sometimes I think my parents use a little payola to get me to school. Because I'm looking at 9th grade like, how the hell?
Peyote or payola?
Yeah, they paid the people off. But I say that because I want to know. Is that rain? Oh, well, I want to know what my neighbors are doing. I want to know what my family's doing to make money, and I'm not gonna get mad at them because they're doing it. I'm not gonna sit there and say, Anthony cleared $10,000 on his God's Hand InDIE campaign. That was your first campaign, right, Anthony?
Pretty much all by myself, yeah.
I want to know how the hell he did it. I'm gonna ask questions. I'm gonna ask.
See this? See this?
Yeah.
This is the God's hand right here. This is how I made all that money.
I'm gonna ask Rob how he does it, how he launches a Kickstarter. Because you should. And here's the thing. Unlike certain people, you guys are willing to get this information out for free. You're not trying to monetize how to run a Kickstarter campaign. I'm not throwing shade. Be quiet, Rob.
Varian, why don't you ever have Russell and LT on the show?
It's only $500.
I've never had him on the show, but that blacklist you gave me.
No Tyler James.
You see, yeah, that Tyler, you had your blacklist you gave me had Tyler James and Russell on, and I can't. You own the internet. You told me if I ever have them on, that's it for my show. So,
no, I said you couldn't have them on both at the same time. The egos would implode the entire universe. They're just two egos to not be in the same room together at the same time.
I think that, I like to find out what everyone's doing. I want to know so I can try it. If it works for me, and I might be able to say, hey, why don't you do the next time? Hey, here's what worked for me. Here's how I made, 8,000 more than you did. Oh, really? I'm gonna try that. This is all healthy. This is all good. I know people are gonna hate me for saying this, but this is good. I like the fact that I'm seeing a guy because I know everybody's saying, and I said this the other night. I think it was on Rob's show. I'm super happy that Todd made $2 million. That is great. That is fantastic. He's keeping Kickstarter afloat. He made it though with a toy that you can't get anywhere else.
That was an action figure.
The action figure, right. There's no Toys R Us to go buy the action figure in anymore. So he had to go to Kickstarter. Let's face it, it was a good idea to go to Kickstarter to get that figure out. But here's the thing. The comic book that's going in there is a reprint. I think they made a different cover. It's a reprint of Spawn #1 slid in there. Okay. The comic book is an afterthought. I'm looking at guys who were doing 100 to 600 to 800,000 on a comic book. And that tells me the industry that I love, the industry that you guys say you all love, is still alive and it's still making money. Come off your high horses and get a goddamn education.
I don't know where you heard that before.
So
there's gold in them there hills, folks.
Yeah. Larry says,
figure out how to mine it.
What works for one person may not work for someone else. This is the first thing I tell people when they are foolish enough to hit me up for advice. Well, no, you got advice from Larry. I'm just kidding. Larry's run a successful campaign a couple times. Good evening, gentlemen. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, Brian.
Happy birthday, Brian.
Happy belated birthday to Ralph. I don't think I wish him happy birthday, but happy birthday to Ralph. Belated birthday to him. Ralph turned 27 years old. He's able to finally drink in the state of Michigan right now. No, 21.
Drink in a bar. That's
yeah.
That ain't happening right now.
So, guys, tell everybody where they can find you so we can get on out of here. But first, before you do that, prepare yourselves for that. Let me remind everybody that our numbers for Indie Vote right now, Indie Vote Radio, I think it's a new hot. Maybe it's not. Might not be. 16,000.
No, it's not a new high.
Yeah, 16,600.
We do appreciate you.
21. Thank you for watching.
We've gotten to 19 before.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 16.
We still love you though. What's the big country out there?
The big country right now is Germany.
Giving us the most love.
Germany.
Yeah.
Love from Germany.
It's only because we got
not just
the CG on here. That's why.
No.
CG came on and Germany shot through the roof.
Yeah. Indie Vote Live at indievote.com if you want to get your email on the show. You include Indie Vote Live in the subject, and please keep those emails to 90 words or less so I can fit them in the graphic that I make for the show. And you heard us talk about the Indie Vote Radio numbers. Please check out Indie Vote Radio. It is on Google Play and Streamer. You can download it on Google Play. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Music, comic book related news. You can hear replays of this show. Indie music from talent like Park Squares and Alleys. And Dims One, download that app today. If you have Apple, you can check it out on Streamer. Download that app and type in Indie Vote Radio. If not, get it on Google Play on your Android device. It's a gorgeous station. It's free. It's completely free. And while we're speaking about free, Indie Vote TV is also free. Over the top streaming network. It's a bunch of indie action movies, some documentaries. It's really entertaining stuff, and it of course is free as well. Check that out. I'm going to let these fine gentlemen and young lady tell you where you can find them at. I know Lola wants to. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make it tell everybody where she's at. Randy, we'll start with you though first.
You don't have to start with me. I'll be next to last.
Okay, let's start with Lola then. Lola.
Oh no.
Nobody wants to go yet. That's the problem.
I'll go.
Okay, Pops, you go first, sir.
Pops, we've been talking about your show this whole time. I don't even know how to watch it.
It's going to be in the group, Randy, and you're supposed to have joined it already. Comic-related madness. Comic-related madness. That's where we're going to broadcast it out of. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I also wanted to throw in a little something about the comic because we finally have a launch date for it. So, Outlaw Studio, Third Empire Comics, Raj Mahan's Mojo Rising. You can find that at Facebook, Mojo Rising. Covers. Excuse me?
Show those covers.
Show those covers. We got a Greg Harms cover. And I think this is Manuel Soto, and Edwin Artex Padillo with the colors. As you can see, we got Pops. I'll be in this.
What is she grabbing?
He's holding the power, brother.
Holding power. Yes, that's what it is.
Exactly what she's holding.
Yeah.
That's what Lola holds all the time.
But that's Mojo Rising Comic Series. You can find that on Facebook. I promote it in the group all the time. In the group, you can find all the information on the con. It's comic related madness in Facebook. We also have a new Instagram, comic related madness, where our following went over 100 people the other day. We just started it, so
good.
You know, we're trying to get out there and be a little bit more known and learn a little bit more about it, since I'm more involved with industry people now. It's like, I'm sorry, Rob, I really am. I didn't know that you were. I was in the corner for a couple of years. I was in the MCB CFA. They don't promote that kind of stuff there. I had no idea. I start my own group and I want to network people together. That's what I'm thinking about. So I'm asking the question: why doesn't anybody else do this, or why didn't anybody before? Because I've never seen it, and I've been in some pretty big Facebook groups. They just don't promote stuff. My group, we will promote you. You have art, you have a book, you have a Kickstarter, and you don't have a really bad attitude, you can show your stuff in our group anytime.
What time did your show start?
It starts at noon on Saturday, noon Eastern, and Michael Jason Stokes is starting the day off. And at the end of the day, it will be the first public introduction to Mojo Rising, to Third Empire Comics. We'll be out there with Greg Harms. He'll be giving the whole rundown on like all the books that are under the Third Empire banner that will be launched next year. It'll be, a lot more informative than what I can tell you about what they're doing, but it's big.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Next we'll go to
Larry Higgins in the chat wants everybody to know that you can find him under a table hung over.
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah. Anyway,
I hope that's after we were drinking across the table. I hate to think you're just laying down there for no reason.
Rob, where can they find you at, sir?
You can find me everywhere. I'm everywhere on the internet. But more importantly, right now, you can get a great book. You can get a great book on Kickstarter right now with catdadandsupermom.com. That's simple. Back something that helps teach kids that bullying is not okay and actually makes you laugh. And that's an important thing right now. We all need to laugh.
Has that been recently refreshed? I'm sorry to interrupt you, Rob.
Actually, I don't think so.
Because we need to see if there's an Indie Volt bump here.
Let's see. I'll refresh it now.
Anyway, keep talking.
No, Indie Vault doesn't love me.
Oh no, folks! Back this Cat Dad Supermom Kickstarter.
To see if we can't help you over there, bro.
Yeah, I'm heartbroken. You guys don't love me. It's all because Anthony came and took all the air out of the room.
Oh, bro. Come on, man.
Sucked it right out.
He was like, if you're not coming to me, don't back this book.
Exactly, bro. Fuck all this bullshit.
Well, it is on Kickstarter. So.
He's like, he's like, this is insane. What's wrong? What's wrong here?
You want to read a good story about a farting elephant? This is your chance.
Yeah, I can't do any better than that. Next.
Well, I think that I think you're. Oh wait, see, look at that. There's a bump.
It did. It bumped.
It literally just happened.
Yeah.
It just happened. It's only the start.
Yeah.
Was that you?
So we did great things for Anthony's book when he was on.
That's right.
He did.
We got
That's why
him
I keep
rolling.
coming back. That's why I'll always come back.
That's why you're always welcome.
You know how many handles I had to give to get Anthony's book up. I went out there and put in work. My wrist still hurt.
Quick,
anyway.
go. Anyway. Yeah, we already know that.
Anthony, where can they find you at, sir?
You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on my website at kiddestructo.com. You can find my book, God's Hand, on Indiegogo right now. Once the microwave goes off, you can find me on IndieVolt many times during the week. And the book is called God's Hand. It's in demand right now. You can go be a part of it. But I'm going to go right now, and I'm going to go and get this good book by this guy Rob. Apparently, it's pretty good. IndieVolt says it's good. I'm going to go check it out, and I'm going to purchase it right now.
And then when you're done, you'll be putting that unicorn mask on and running out to Bourbon Street, won't you?
Ain't nobody down there, Randy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought about that right after I said it. I'm sorry.
That some bitch is a ghost town, man.
Run down there and have the cops chase you.
Yeah.
I'm out after curfew.
Lola, where can they find you at, ma'am?
I got it, Rob.
Anywhere IndieVolt is. Every Tuesday night with IndieVolt Live. And every Wednesday night with Geekgasm, which I host.
That's right. So you'll be there tomorrow night at 9 a.m.
9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
If you're an IndieVolt radio listener, you'll have to figure out when that is. It's Eastern Standard here in the States.
Yeah. The Indie Princess, there she is. And Mr. Zimmerman. Princess.
I am on the Zim Geek channel on YouTube. I am Facebook. I twit under Randy Zim. Other than that, I'm kind of too old and don't have enough time to run all the other social boards. But other than that, I'm here on IndieVolt Thursday nights at 9 p.m. and not Thursday nights, Tuesday nights at 9 p.m., Thursday mornings at 9 a.m.
Randy was also a guest on Art of War last week where he lost to
got more than Josh, but that's okay. We were just there to have fun. I do want to say before you take this camera off of me, I want to boast for a second. Exactly, ready for this. 31 years ago tomorrow, I took a young lady out to see Beetlejuice at the theater. And 29 years ago tomorrow, I made her my wife. We're celebrating the 29th anniversary tomorrow.
Congratulations, man.
And how she puts up with me, I'll never know.
And her.
Big time, brother.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But how she puts up with me, I'll never know. It's the way it is.
Yeah, that's 29 years ago. Wow.
29.
How can you not love somebody?
We watched Beetlejuice. I was moved in within a week. It was just like that. And it's been like that pretty much ever since.
I remember begging to go see Beetlejuice. My parents taking me. Yeah. Taking me to go see it. I want to go see it. And Lola wasn't even born yet. So.
Yeah.
But
that's a big number. Next year we might not be around this time next year, just to sneak out or whatever. So
you guys got to
marking the 30th somewhere. Our 25th we marked up at Mackinac City or Mackinac Island. It was an amazing time. So
I have to send you guys like some slot machine games or something to play at home.
Yeah, where can we play them? Yeah. She plays on her phone all the time. Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations, sir.
But yeah, thank you. It's don't thank just me. So I'm not even half of that. She has to put up with me. So
we had to send Monica an edible arrangement or something. Like,
there you go.
Putting up with Randy.
Yeah.
That and like some absinthe. Yeah. And guys, thank you for joining us. You can find me on Twitter at KYD_V, Facebook Variant Grant. You can also publishing companies Last Call Comics, lastcallcomics.com is the website, and IndieVolt.com, where you can access our IndieVolt radio and IndieVolt TV on Roku. Other than that, guys, we are getting out of here. But Larry, we did draw Niobe last week. LOL Niobe on Art of War. It was epic. I love Randy's drawing. Yeah, that was pretty cool. So yeah, we'll see all you guys. Stay happy, stay healthy, wash your damn hands, and go back. Cat Dad and Super Mom. I almost said Cat Mom and Super Dad. That's a sequel.
God's Hand and Mojo Rising. When's that popping up on and where?
June 2nd. Kickstarter,
June 2nd, Mojo Rising. God's Hand's currently on demand on Indiegogo.
Correct.
Cat Dad Supermom on Kickstarter.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
Yeah, no problem.
Always good to see you, Pops.
Everybody, this has been an Indie Vote production. We are not owned by Disney yet, but we are available. See you guys very soon. Have a good night.